There is nothing worse than having a big, fluffy cinnamon roll, taking a bite in it to find out that the icing is disgusting. Never let that happen again. I have the easiest cinnamon roll icing recipe for you. What is up, you guys? It is Karli here, and you are officially cooking with Karli. The best part of a cinnamon roll, let's be honest, is the icing. And this recipe is one that I've been using for years and years, and every time I take cinnamon rolls everywhere, everyone always gushes about that icing and how delicious that icing is. This icing does not have to be just for your homemade cinnamon rolls that you've slaved away on for a long time, and while it definitely can be for that, it can also be for, cinnamon rolls that you get out of the freezer section or cinnamon rolls that come in a can, because there is never enough icing in those little packets. Am I right? You don't need anything fancy for this icing. All we need is some butter, milk, vanilla, and powdered sugar. It's basically a thinner buttercream icing. We will start with 1/2 cup or 1 stick of butter that is either room temperature or softened. Mine is of the softened variety. Next, let's add in 3 cups of powdered sugar. 1. And as you can see, I'm just eyeballing the measurements, just kind of shaking it off. Nothing super exact. This recipe is extremely forgiving, which is my favorite kind of recipe. Let's put in our vanilla and just a little bit of milk. I have about 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons here, but we can always add more milk later. We will fit our stand mixer with a paddle attachment, or you can use your whisk attachment if you'd like, and we will slowly start mixing this together and bring up the speed until everything is creamed together nicely. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can definitely do this with an electric hand mixer, and I've even done it with a whisk and like a little silicone spatula too when I was desperate. It doesn't get quite as smooth and creamy that way, but it still tastes delicious if you are in a bind. As you are mixing, you will see the consistency, and if you want it thinner, just add another splash of milk until you get it to the consistency that you'd like. I prefer my icing to be a little bit on the thicker side. If you like yours thinner, just feel free to keep adding that milk until it is the consistency you want. Now it is time to ice our cinnamon rolls. You'll want to keep in mind when you're getting that consistency to your liking that if your cinnamon rolls are straight out of the oven piping hot, the icing will melt and will get very thin. This is part of the reason why I like mine to be a little bit thicker to start with. I only have 8 cinnamon rolls here, but this recipe is good for probably 12, 15 cinnamon rolls. If you don't use all of your cinnamon roll icing, feel free to put it in an airtight container and pop it in your fridge. It will stay good in there for up to 5, 6, or 7 days, so you can either make cinnamon rolls again or make homemade donuts or dip cookies in it. I don't know. You'll find something. Next time you're planning on making cinnamon rolls, make sure to use this icing recipe. Go down in the link in the description below, flag that page, save it so that you can go back and reference it time and time again to make yourself some delicious cinnamon roll icing. Can I eat this? Can I have a bite? Ooh, we're at 20 minutes. We're at 20 minutes. We're at 20 minutes. Let me look up.